Hey, hit again.
Amos 9 and 7. Are ye not as children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel?
O children of who?
O children of Israel.
The Lord said, are you not as the Ethiopians to me, O children of Israel? Then we got the historian saying that many of us believe the Jews are of an Ethiopian race.
And we did that in multiple spots. Look at this. Give them that world history of what Semitic means. Go to one more page. There it is. Give them the world history definition of what Semitic
This is what Semitic, or less commonly Shemitic, descendant of Shem, a branch or subfamily of the Afro-Asiatic family of languages that includes Arabic, Hebrew, Aramaic, Amharic, and such ancient languages as Akkadian and Phoenician.
So you telling me that this also agrees that when you say Shemitic, they can be closely related with Arabic and Hebrew.
Yeah.
Thus Russia, and thus we just heard, can be easy. You can see all three of them.
Yeah. So when you
three different witnesses.
When you bump into, because you bump into some brothers say, "Oh, I'm the original Afro-Asiatic brother type." All he's saying is that you're from Shem.
That's it.
You see that? You're a Shemite. You feel me? But again, Afro is a hairstyle and Asia is a continent. That's still not a nationality.
It's still not
You feel me?
nationality.
It's letting you know that these people descend from Shem. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, brother.
While this brother reading, I'm just going to have the brother Azur tune in to what some people saw as the Madonna in Russia during the 18th century. It's still doing slave trade.
And notice that Madonna...
And the 15th century, which is even the beginning
of the slave trade. And notice that Madonna, even though it's pagan, it got to do with Semiramis and Nimrod. But the fact that they're equating that with Christ and that they're black.
They were black is what
and that the Russians believe that the blacks were Jews. Come on, man.
Oh, wow.
Y'all playing around with this thing, bro.
Come on, man. We can't play with this.
That means over in Europe, let's let
Can
you know
see all this?
Hebrew, that lets you know the mind boning that's been going on with our people. Because if over in Europe to this day, all the Madonnas and all the images, most of the images are still black.
So why are they European over here?
Why they
only in Western countries?
Why? Who? Somebody been lying.
Somebody been lying.
Somebody been lying, man.
Somebody been lying.
Okay, did you finish it off? Amos 9, 7?
Yeah, let's finish it off. Amos 9 and 7. Are ye not as children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel, saith the Lord? Have not I brought up Israel out of the land of Egypt, and the Philistines from Caphtor, and the Syrians from Kaor? That's
what I'm saying. So are ye not as the Ethiopians to me, O children of Israel?
Then get that one about Paul in that Acts.
Acts 21:38. Further proof that Israelites get mistaken for Egyptians.
So that's even the Old Testament and the New Testament is going to concur the same thing. And then remember when they went to go bury Jacob? They went to the land of Canaan.
Yeah, they thought they all was Canaanites. Or Egyptians, I mean. They thought they all was Egyptians or something. You got that?
Yeah, I got
Acts 21 and 38.
Acts 21 and 38.
This is Paul, who was an Israelite.
I'm going to start at 37. As Paul was to be led into the castle, he said unto the chief captain, May I speak unto thee? Who said, Canst thou speak Greek?
They were surprised that Paul could speak Greek.
See, Paul had the gift of tongues, which means another language. Not that I should have had a Honda.
Right. Right.
Verse 38. Are not thou that Egyptian?
Aren't you an Egyptian? What you doing speaking Greek? Ain't you an Egyptian? Paul was mistaken for an Egyptian by an outsider. Let you know what? The Jews must look like what? Egyptians. They're dark skinned. That's New Testament for y'all.
Which before this day made us an uproar and led us out into the wilderness 4,000 men that were murderers.
You see that? What he respond though?
And Paul said, I am a man which am a Jew of Tarsus, a city in Sicily.
A city, and to let you know, he's a Jew, but he had Roman citizenship. See, a lot of y'all been deceived into believing that Paul was a Roman. You know what I'm saying? Like a Caesar or something. Like he was a white boy. Paul was a brother who was mistaken for an Egyptian. He was an Israelite by blood, but he had a Roman citizenship, just like you Negroes today. You're an Israelite by blood, but you have American citizenship. Same thing, man.
Nothing new under the sun.
Come on, bro.
A citizen of no means city, and I beseech thee, suffer me to speak unto the people. And when he had given him license, Paul stood on the stairs and beckoned with the hand unto the people. And when there was made a great silence, he spake unto them in Hebrew tongue. That's the end of that.
That's the end of that. Okay, yeah. So Paul was mistaken for an Egyptian. You know what I'm saying? Paul was mistaken for an Egyptian. They was confused that he could speak Greek, and he's like, "Nah, man, I'm a Jew." You see that? You dig? So
I'm a citizen of Rome.
I'm a citizen of Rome, though. So, but the fact that he's mistaken for an Egyptian and he was speaking Greek threw dude off. But what we're saying is, how is a Jew, an Israelite, being mistaken for an Egyptian, and you can't even do that today? If they are the Jews, why you don't look at them as if they're Egyptians?
And we clearly know that the Egyptians of antiquity were clearly, just like it says that they look just like Ethiopians and Egyptians.
Yep. I want to add that.
Go ahead, brother.
But when Christ was born, they sent Christ to Egypt.
Christ fled into Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
Would make no sense if he was European with blue eyes, looking like Caesar Borgias. They would have caught him quickly.
He goes, and then the history we got into earlier showed the Israelites had already been living in Egypt, in Ethiopia. So it makes sense that he fled to his people that was in Egypt and then lived amongst them.
And then there's also a professor named Mark Goodacre who works at Duke University in the religious department, says the same thing. You had to be a man of color.
Had to be.
Talking about Christ.
There's no other way to even explain that. Where we at now, bro?
Now, bro, we finna take y'all, we finna take y'all into Hebrewism of West Africa, written by Joseph J. S.J. All right?
Joseph J. Williams.
Joseph J. Williams.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to page 326 to get some more further understanding. All right? Here.
Right here. Jewish state, Rand, Vandals, and oh no, start right there. Yeah, start right there.
Right.
Just we don't know. And we got to go all the way over to Negro land.
Right. We're going to hit it right here, too.
Okay, well, that's cool.
It says, while many Jewish tribes in the course of time embraced Mohammedism.
You hear that?
See, now we're in the time of Muhammad in the Quran.
Now, remember, Islam didn't come into play until like the 5th century, A.D. You feel me? And then they got the hit from the Catholic Church to sweep through Africa. You know what I'm saying? A lot of brothers that was Israelites by blood were forced into Islam by the sword.
Just like we forced into Christianity and everything.
Or like you Negroes that say, oh, you know, we Moors. And y'all confess Islam, not knowing that our forefathers was forced to convert to that.
We battled against them.
By blood, you an Israelite, man. Come on, Hebrew.
While some embrace Mohammedism, at least externally, others preserve the faith by retreating deep into the desert or possibly into Negro land.
Into where?
Negro land.
Negro land. You see that? That's that map we showed y'all earlier.
And look, these are two different authors, y'all. Yep. Two different authors, two different books, same accord.
Negro land, right here. Where my finger at? My right finger. Negro land. See that? Two different authors. J.A. Rogers for that one and Joseph J. Williams for that. And this is during the 5th and 6th century. So we done went from 65 BC all the way up to now we around 600 AD now.
We're dealing with the Quran and Muhammad is coming about.
Yep.
This may explain in part how the Jews early became chief merchants of the Sahara and the connecting link between the Negro nations of the South, which are all great commercial centers of the Mediterranean coast.
That's cool right there.
We got to keep going. Check this out. Okay. It was in the 12th century. However, this is for the class. Judaism of North Africa said it wasn't there, remember?
Right.
She said it wasn't there.
Exactly.
Suffered its most serious check. The fanatical
Almohades, Muslims. Come on, bro.
Swept down from the mountains with the avowed purpose of exterminating all non-Muslims. The Jews of the cities found the only alternative for death was to either apostasy or flight.
Either sell out or we leave.
We dip.
And that's how it always been. It's like we ran out of it. We took flight. While majority embraced Mohammedanism, many there were who chose death, and still others found a refuge with co-religionists among the Isles of Berbers.
The inland Berbers. You know what I'm saying? So that's all the way up into the 12th century right there.
And here go right here, when we went to the kingdom of Ghana. This Jewish kingdom of Ghana.
Of what?
Of Ghana.
Of Ghana. You see
so
that?
You had a Jewish kingdom in Ghana. Where's Ghana? On the
Ghana
west
is
coast?
on the west coast of Africa. And believe it or not, it was many Hebrew kings in Ghana before 700 AD, man. A lot of you love. There's one brother that be quoting on the channel. As if, I'm going back to Ghana. It's funny y'all claim y'all Jews, but I'm going back to Ghana. Negro, what does Ghana mean? You don't even know. Ghana is a spin-off of Hebrew word for king. It was Hebrew kings living up in Ghana. That's up in earth.
And we just read that.
Yep.
And that's in earth.
That's in earth. So what, both these historians are wrong?
It says, must have had widespread influence on Negro customs and manners almost to the coast of Ghana.
To what?
The coast of Ghana.
Now check this out. What that say right there?
The Black Jewish Empire of Ghana.
Now we finna go into the other source. See, it don't make no sense just to be fat-mouthing as if, you know what I'm saying, don't nobody see. But it's good, though, because most people these days, when you call them on it, can't prove it. You know what I'm saying? Like the scripture tells us, prove all things, hold fast to what's true. So that's what we doing and hoping to gain our people.
Do you want to show them this migration part?
Yeah, we know we going there. It's right down there.
Oh, go ahead. We'll read that out. We'll bring it out so we can see.
Yeah, we're going to show the migration map. That's 337,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
That's after this, matter of fact. Yeah,
go ahead, read.
5th and 6th century. So really, we done went from 65 BC all the way up to the 12th century.
Well, we went actually to the 17. We went to the slave trade.
Yeah. 1400s and all that. 1700s blacks in Russia. So we done went past what she's saying, but we
going back and forth.
Yeah, we gonna get into it again. This is page 87, Babylon and Timbuktu, a history of ancient black races, including the black Hebrews. That's what it say on here. A history. All right. This is page 87. It says the Byzantine emperors in the 5th and 6th centuries persecuted the Jews constantly. And this is another thing right here.
For the conversion of those others.
That's it. This is another thing too. What you know is mankind being divided into skin color didn't come around to like the late 1700s, man. Before then, in the ancient world, men dealt with men based off where they was from, nationhood. Most of your enemies, whether you was Ethiopian, Egyptian, most of your enemies were dark skinned. It wasn't about that. This is a new mindset that they came up with and got people thinking that it's color that mankind is divided. It's never been that. It's the seed of the fathers. It's your nationhood, your race. That's what divided. Where is man from?
Patriarchal.
Now check this out. It said the Byzantine emperors in the 5th and 6th centuries persecuted the Jews constantly. Therefore, multitude of Jews were compelled to migrate into the Sahara Desert to the south. By this time, the Sahara Desert was heavily occupied with black Jews.
What kind of Jews?
Black Jews. This is the 5th and 6th century. We all know the Sahara Desert is in Africa. The Arabs pushed their way out of Arabia in the 7th century. In the year 640 AD, they attacked Egypt and continued across Africa. Then a Jew queen named Dia Kahina.
Spell that so we can Google.
Dia.
You can Google this too, y'all.
And this was a sister that went hard. She
refused
to convert to Islam. She was an Israelite. Her name is Dia. D-I-A-H Kahina. C-A-H-E-N-A. Organized an army consisting of Jews and Berbers in order to stop the penetration of the Muslims in North Africa.
And some of y'all walk right into Islam knowing you Israelites or not knowing. And then you see, we used to bang against, understand.
Yeah.
The reason why that battle was so heated is because Islam was just surfacing.
Yep.
In a continent where Judaism and the other God worships of other tribes were prevalent. Understand? So, of course, when you got a new major fascist coming, you got the old fascists going to have to fight against it.
Yeah.
It's either survival or not. All right? Go ahead, bro.
Right here. Oh man, this is beautiful. We're gonna have to bounce around a little bit.
Bounce.
It say, okay. It says that this queen vanquished the Arabs and the people of Africa, rejoiced in her victory. Years later, did you hear that?
Rejoice in her.
Rejoicing her. Years later, the Mohammedans fought the army of this Jew queen once more, and she was defeated. She was defeated the second time because of the jealousies of different people in various tribes. Having become disgusted, her son turned Muslim and participated in the Islamic conquest of Spain in the year 711 AD.
Check your history.
So he turned Muslim, right? But by blood, he's an Israelite.
He was an Israelite.
See that?
See how that happened? He did that to be spiteful of his own.
Took over Spain.
Took over Spain and everything, man. Check this out. This is page 88. It says, when North and Eastern Africa had amassed over 1 million Jews, North and East Africa, these Jews began a continuous migration. We're gonna show that continuous migration to the region of the Niger River. Now this is
who river?
The Niger River,
and that's where the majority of your bulk of your slave trades took place.
And Niger, believe it or not, is Latin. It means black. That's where they get nigger from. So if you get mad, somebody call you a nigger, get mad, they call you an African American too. You feel me? It's the same thing. But this migration right here, it says these Jews, when North and Eastern Africa had amassed over 1 million Jews, these Jews began a continuous migration to the region of the Niger River. You want to show that, brother?
All right. We're finna show y'all again, so you can prove that we left Jerusalem. Let me know if you got a good clear picture.
And remember, this is Hebrewism of West Africa, from Nile to the Niger with the Jews. From the Nile River to the Niger River, from East Africa to West Africa with the Jews.
It shows clearly, y'all, that we came clearly down from Jerusalem to the East Coast, all the way over to the West Coast of Africa.
Timbuktu, right up in there.
Yeah, Babylon Timbuktu is in there. And you know, I hate that I don't have my history book, but my history teacher can verify this, and she'll have a chance to either refute or not. Is that those tribes that were put on there was dealing mainly with, and you can do this on Ancestry.com too. It was Wauda, Benin, you see what I'm saying, and Ouda, and also the tribes of the Igbo. The Igbo tribes, when they dug up the tombs in Jamestown, Virginia, of the original slaves, they found that ancient writing in there, and it was Hebrew.
Yup, and shout out to the brother Igbo Abroad on YouTube, man. He been looking at us for a while. I'll be shouting back and forth to him. Bro still got his ancient accent on him. You know what I'm saying? Locks hanging down, gray locks. You feel me?
Shout
out to that brother, man. He look at all the videos, man. He always comment on there. You know what I'm saying? Good wine, Israelites, keep it pushing. But that's an Igbo brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Know his history. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that brother, man.
And if you don't believe me, you can check, because even in Israel today, they done brought some of the tribes of the Igbos back in. So if the bulk of the slave trade came from Benin by the Niger, the coast and all that, where we all fled into, onto the boats, the chief rabbis and welcomed it in, what that mean? And the ancient writings on the tombs of the Israelites that were here.
Exactly, man.
They knew who they was when they came here, but we was wiped away from us. Watch the movie Roots. You know what I'm saying? The first thing they did was made you forget your language, your God, and your religion. They wiped you clean. All right?
Check this out. It says, these Jews began a continuous migration to the region of the Niger River, according to the researches of Nahum Slouch, an impostor Jew. The tradition of the Jewish traders in Sahara stretches back to biblical times. Check that out. Okay, jump over to page 90. It says the Jews came into the Western Sudan. Now we over in West Africa. Okay, the Western Sudan from Northern and Eastern Africa as a result of a chain of commercial and persecutory migration. So being they was persecuted or money. You feel me? We
apostasy of flight.
We always was getting it in. You know what I'm saying? The Jews had settled among the most civilized people throughout the ages. They adopted new methods from other people and left their material, educational, and moral imprint among the people with whom they resided. For many centuries, the Hebrews had to employ great physical and psychological initiative. They could not afford to be complacent or apathetic. They were hated. All right? So apathy could mean cultural stagnation or death. The Jews imported into the western part of Africa a superior material, educational, and moral culture soon after what? 300 AD. Check this out. And this cultural advancement was not duplicated or exceeded until the ascendancy of the Mohammedan leader Mansa Kanka Musa of Mali in 1312 AD.
See how long that lasted? Over 1,000 years.
1,000 years. And check this out.
1,012.
He was a Hebrew who converted to Islam. You see that? We got his picture too. The brothers had a regular old white robe on, crown on his head,
Big gold nugget.
and a fat old gold nugget. Largest gold nugget in the world. You heard that? That was a brother. I'll let you know we was in Western Africa, man. From 300 AD, 1312 AD. We right before the slave trade. In the 3rd and 4th centuries AD, the Africans on the west coast did not possess the cultural superiority of the Africans on the north and the east coast. And it goes on anymore. Now, right down here, this is for this brother called himself True King on YouTube. To act as if Israelites wasn't living in Ghana. Right here, the black Hebrew kings of Ghana had 2 titles. Kayamaga, Master of Gold, and Ghana, War Chief.
War Chief.
Professor Godby says that 22 Hebrew kings reigned in Ghana before the Hegira, or the founding of Islam, in 622 AD.
That's before Islam.
That's before Islam. And 44 had reigned by 790.
There you go,
AD.
bro. There you go.
You see that? So when you talking about you going down to Ghana or whatever, you still, that's our history. That's what we was taken from. You know what I'm saying? Ghana is Hebrew for war chief. Know that. You dig? And we got a couple more things, man. And then we going to get on up out of here. We got Babylon Timbuktu, page 90. First paragraph. Matter of fact, I just read that. So we all good. And now we got the end of Babylon to Timbuktu. Page 132 and 33. Check out what the conclusion is. Check out the conclusion, man. All right, and he gonna quote little Dr. Allen Goodby, 132, 133. It says, Dr. Allen H. Goodby postulates the position that black Jews were on the West African coast from Senegal to Angola, and they, the Jews, were driven to this area from the central Sudan by Muslim propagandism. Having a knowledge of the black Jews in the United States, Dr. Goodby arrived at this conclusion. This is what this doctor, this heathen,
and this not the author saying
right.
This is not Windsor.
This is not Rudolph Windsor. This is
Dr. Goodby.
This is the Edomite he's quoting. He said he had to come to the conclusion himself. He said, these facts have peculiar significance when the presence of Judaism among American Negroes.
Among who?
American Negroes.
She said it didn't survive the ship.
That's what she said.
Oh.
Your breath stank, Professor. American Negroes is to be considered. Hundreds of thousands of slaves were brought to America from this Western Africa during the days of the traffic, beginning nearly 400 years ago. That's another thing, 400 years. Huh? How much more of Judaism survived among Western African Negroes in their earlier time? As persecuted communities, they were rather more in danger than other Negroes of being raided by war parties and sold as slaves. It may be considered certain that many partially Judaized Negroes.
What kind of Negroes?
Judaized Negroes were among the slaves brought to America.
There you go. There you go, class. How
many of them might still hold some Jew customs here is another question. Before Dr. Goodby published his book, The Lost Tribes, a Myth, Rabbi Matthew organized a Hebrew congregation in 1918.
So this is a rabbi.
In 1918, and proclaimed that the black people of the United States and the West Indies are the original black Hebrews. There are hundreds of thousands of black African Hebrews scattered throughout the United States, not only in the urban areas, but also in the rural communities of this nation. So not in the city, but also in the country, to you country bumpkins, with the revelation of ample historical evidence.
Ample. I think we gave enough, didn't we?
Yeah, man, come on now. With the revelation of ample historical evidence, the authenticity of these black Hebrews can no longer be questioned. You hear that? You can't even question if they are the original 12 tribes of Israel, man. It's a fact. Too much history back it up.
You have to debunk everything we showed in this whole video, then produce a foundation of your understanding.
However, in regard to the purity of their Judaism among some of these Jews. Well, that's another issue. And it is, you know, because we don't practice Judaism. We're not Jewish. Judaism, according to history, is just the practicing of the law, statutes, and commandments of God. What you know today is Judaism is Kabbalah and Talmud teachings, which is blasphemy. A true Christian, according to history, is a follower of Christ. What you know is Christianity today is a pagan religion. So let's not play on words. When you read about Judaism or black Jewish people, you're reading about the historical Hebrew Israelites or the Judeans of antiquity. And let's get a picture again before we get out of here. One more picture.
So we can see through the conclusion of all of these issues, all the angles of history. We went through all of this for our persecution, for our sins we committed. So as Solomon put it, we're going to be able to say the conclusion to all the matters.
Yeah, and the reason we end is a lot of y'all hating white folks, man. They just playing their job.
It's for God.
Their job is to do what they did to us because we went against our God, man. We decided not to keep the commandments of the God of Israel. You know what I'm saying? Start picking up the philosophies of these other nations, and the Lord spit arrows on us. He sent these beasts on us, man. I'm just going to show this picture again, the Hebrews and biblical period, an ancient picture history of Jewish civilization. Oh, and we need to go to page 94 in here because they called the Romans Edomites.
Edomites, yeah. That's
why y'all running around here talking about some Japheth? Matter of fact, I got a picture in here of a original inhabitant of Rome going back before the Caesars and them took over. And he darker than me and you. Why? Because the Japhites are dark skinned too. It ain't no evidence to show the Japhites are white folks. Hebrews and biblical period.
Got that.
This is over there, the 19th dynasty. Over in Egypt. Brother is on the wall as a prisoner, as a slave, and it says a Shemitic or a Semitic prisoner because the Israelites descend from Shem, who was a man of color as well, one of Noah's sons. And right here, this is a good one too. The war captives, the slaves with yokes of iron around their necks. Slaves used to build all the great treasure cities, just like the book of Exodus say. So while y'all running around talking about the Bible's not a historical book, you're lying. We went to history and proved it. And a lot of this
made this academic work.
Man. Yeah, academic work, man. And we pulled a few sources that was brothers that wrote these things. We even pull enemy sources to further prove our point in what we're saying, man. You got a couple scriptures?
Let me give you some Deuteronomy 28 so we can understand this.
64.
You see what I'm saying? I'm going to go up to 49 so we can understand. All right? Because the Most High, I'm going to actually 47 so you can understand what happened. Because thou servest...
Read 15 first. 15, then jump to 47. See, Deuteronomy 28, just in case y'all don't know, this is the book and how you identify who Israel is. All right, you got Deuteronomy 28 and Leviticus 26. Now, when God brought Israel through the Red Sea and he gave us a government and how to run ourselves or whatever, it went out that if being that I just destroyed these Egyptians for y'all, if y'all don't serve me in sincerity and in truth, all these curses are going to come upon you. It's going to follow you forever until his son return and redeem us. But if you do these commandments, you're going to be blessed above all people that's on the planet of the earth, man. So that's why we go through. That's why voting is not no solution for our economic improvement. Us marching, saying no justice, no peace, none of that. You need to get back to the laws and statutes of your God.
For God to keep his commandments.
He said he will hear your call and return you.
Right. They know about our God, man. Hey, he on record putting heathens down, man. They know, but as soon as we get back to him, man, we get our rightful place back in this earth as kings and queens. The Bible is the blueprint to the revolution. You feel me? Not none of this RBG madness that you Negroes be pumping. The Bible is the blueprint to a revolution. Whether you talking land, whether you talking power over your enemies, whether you talking about independence, own government, own army, the Lord already gave it to us, man. All we got to do is act accordingly, and he got us. Get away from these philosophies and putting your faith in these men. Put your faith back in Christ, who was a brother, an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. Why would you want one of your people to rule over you, man? It don't make no sense.
That's Deuteronomy 17, not to appoint no king over you that's not of your brethren.
You're not supposed to be voting. I can see certain things out here, you know, free lunch or whatever. That don't mean you got to vote for... You know what I'm saying? To put somebody over you. You feel me? Some people say, oh, you know, we vote for free lunch. Well, really, it ain't free because somebody paying for it anyway. So how long we going to be smooching and begging for our enemies to straight feed us, man?
Exactly.
That ain't free lunch anyway.
We should be
somebody paying for it.
We should be self-sufficient.
And he gave us the blueprint in Acts chapter 4 and chapter 5 of how we sustain as a nation, man. Basically, we live amongst each other. Nobody lacks nothing. We bring all our resources together, and everything's divided up based off necessity. If you want anything extra or want, you got to get out there and grind for yourself. You feel me? But everybody that's amongst the fold is looked out for. It ain't nobody rich, ain't nobody poor. Go ahead, Negro.
We're at Deuteronomy 28 and 15 before we close it out. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I have commanded thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
All these curses, everything from verse 15 on down, will happen to the children of Israel because, as history shows and as the Bible shows, they didn't keep the commandments. So get about the religious philosophies and get back into the commandments of God in faith of his son Christ, because he is the sacrifice for Israel. Get back to the Father.
Understand, for those who believe in DNA, this is your genetic marker. Check this out. And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
For a what?
A sign and a wonder. And upon thy seed forever.
Forever.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and gladness of heart, for abundance of all things. That's what we were just talking about. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
And in want of all things. If you depend on your historical enemy to feed you, clothe you,
welfare, child support,
house, all that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Section 8, public housing.
Yeah, we depend on our enemy. So
food stamps, medical, shots.
Exactly. So us being,
clothes,
we in a position,
shoes,
what are we in the position
cars,
of doing? Asking them for everything. And thinking that this is free. You know what I'm saying? Or thinking that we free. You not free.
Y'all don't even long to go home, man.
Proverbs 22:7 say the borrower is servant to the lender.
Servant.
If you in a position where you're borrowing everything, you actually serve the lender. We are still in a master and slave society, man. Go ahead,
it says, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck. We just seen that then and seen it now.
We showed the pictures, yokes of iron.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the ends of the earth. So this ain't here, it's from another end.
Yep, the end of the earth.
As swift as the eagle's flight. Just like every Babylonian captivity, even this one. What's your national symbol?
The eagle. Okay. Rome, eagle.
Look on the back of your dollar, you still got the Egyptian pyramid. You is still in captivity.
Still.
All right? Understand, a nation whose fierce countenance shall have no regard for the persons of old, nor favor the young. What just happened to your boy Trayvon?
Yep, just got killed.
Come on, man, don't care about
And believe it or not, that man was an Edomite. His father's a white man.
A judge.
Yeah, straight up George Zimmerman.
I'm going to give you this last verse of Deuteronomy 28, man. Then you got to, study. See, they put a key right there, bro. Did you peep that? And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again by ships.
With what?
Ships.
Egypt is a word that means bondage. You going back into slavery by way of ships. All right. Who did that ever happen to? Just be real with yourself, man.
If you study Israel to Egypt, there's no large enough body of water or enough water to transport you between the two.
You can walk. You can walk from Egypt. That's like walking from the west side of St. Louis to Wellston. Or Pine Lawn. You can walk.
But yeah, you can walk.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's one connected body. You know
it is. It's a land bridge right there. Yeah. And it says, by ships, by the way wherefore I spake unto thee, thou shalt no longer, thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies.
Your friends.
Your enemies.
Your buddies.
Your enemies.
Your enemies.
For bondmen and bondwomen.
What is that? That's a slave.
And no one shall buy you.
No one shall buy you or redeem you.
It can't redeem you out of this, man. It's only going to be by the hand of the Most High that we come up out of this one. Because we've been in this one longer than we've been in any of the other ones. And I'm telling you, if the Most High come back right now, half of y'all going to beg God, can you stay?
Yeah, ain't you? Y'all ain't ready to serve the Lord. It's just all talk now. This right here is out the ancient world, and this is a picture of the original inhabitants of Rome down here where my fingers at. And this brother is darker than the brother that's zooming in. That's my brother Azor, man. We be getting on each other around here a little bit.
Yeah, man, we be having some little short puns. That was for my boy Rock.
They know.
And you see that though? So look, these are Japhites right here, man.
Talk about that.
You see that? These are not the original inhabitants of Rome, were the Etruscans. See that? These are
Not
Japhites,
a
man.
history lesson.
Now, if you look up here in the carving, these are Roman soldiers. Look at them. Who they look like.
Oh, what that? Him and that Nation knows no color. Oh, no. Nation
Bring that closer.
See that?
Him and that Nation knows no color.
Good looking, bro.
I just saw something pertaining to that, bro.
You dig? So I'll let you know, man. A lot of people running around here confusing Japheth.
Yeah, 35.
Yeah.
Last one.
Look at this. Hold on, show him this Ethiopian.
Oh
bro.
yeah, that's what. That's the one we missed.
Bro, look at this.
Remember-
man. Show this boy this Ethiopian.
Remember it said that the Jews were Ethiopian race? That's what the
Well,
Ethiopians
look at
look
that
like.
nappy bird and fro.
That's what the
neck.
Ethiopians look like in antiquity. And the Jews were considered an Ethiopian race.
Mm.
You see that?
And you know what we need to do? Let's run back through all our books before we close out and let them know what we got.
All right, hold on. Well, go ahead, stack them up, bring them over.
Yeah. So y'all can see that what we doing around here. Yeah. All right. So what we got here? We got, again, from Babylon to Timbuktu.
Mm-hmm.
History of the ancient black races, including the black Hebrews.
Small interruption. Nation Knows No Color Line is just a cover. This is still the same book. All right. I'm on page 70. Just when brother mentioned that. This is from Gerald Massey. He also did a work to tell you that the people were a people of color.
Yeah.
Along with Tactica.
The ancient Britons.
You know what I'm saying?
He did a work on the ancient and modern Brits. And then broke down how the people that inhabited Great Britain were black folks as well.
Man, here goes
In fact, I'm going to read that. Go ahead.
mentioned by Tacticus of the first century.
Of who?
The first century.
This guy right here.
As having dark skin, usually curly hair, we just showed in that picture, from a different book,
Yep.
were very likely of Phoenician and Egyptian descent.
Why are these Jews
That's the
being,
same Shemitic definition.
Why are these people being compared to Egyptians and Ethiopians?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you mistake Steven Spielberg for an Ethiopian?
Uh-oh, you can't do that one.
What about Benjamin Netanyahu?
Can't do that.
Jaime Weinstein?
Here go another one, man. Now, you see, y'all remember that picture y'all just saw.
Yep.
It just said Rome had Negroes, Ethiopians, in parentheses, in the armies in Britain.
In Britain, flat out. You feel me? So just because you seen something about a Roman general or soldier, don't necessarily mean he was white. Don't necessarily mean that. One more I'ma pull for you naysayers to say we wasn't in Europe either. African president early Europe, Ivan van Sertima, page 257. I'm gonna get, you can get the close up on that. That's a sister, a royal